Hello Aquarius or Aquas Watcher, welcome to my video. We are going to talk about your guys' perfect matches. We're going to talk about a different kind of soul connection, the soul twin, the split twin flame, the mirror twin, and of course the monadic twin flames, and also soulmates. So if you're interested in that and you want to find out what would be a good match for you guys, then yeah, keep on watching till the end. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Janine. I am an astrologer. I am a spiritual coach. I am a manifestation coach. Also, I am a psychic medium. And then also, I am available for personal readings and your astrology readings, of course, card readings also, and manifestation coaching. But let's dive right in. Aquarius people, I like you because I am an aqua moon and I love it. So, first of all, it's very important for me to say, like I did in all of the other videos, your divine counterpart, you know, a soulmate. We're not talking about twin flames right now, we're talking about soulmates, can be any sign. Please don't ever say no to a person just because you think the signs don't match. Okay, let's see what could be a bad sign for Aquarius. Yeah, maybe like a Pisces. Let's go with Pisces. Pisces energy, not very rational. Aquarius energy, very rational. So that could be like a mismatch. But let's just say, I'm not saying your person, if you're Pisces person, it's not a bad match. Again, I want to explain it can be a good match because you need to look at the entire chart. Okay, just because you've read maybe somewhere Aquarius and Pisces is not a good match, please discard that. That is very shallow. We don't just look at the sun signs. In this channel, we go very deep. We don't do shallow stuff because maybe you are an Aquarius sun, but you don't know. Maybe don't know everything. Maybe you are a Pisces moon or Pisces rising, or you have your sun or your moon in the 12th house, which would be the Pisces house, or the other person, the Pisces person, we're just taking Pisces as an example, may have an Aquarius rising or an Aquarius moon, or they may have their sun or their moon in the 11th house, which would be the Aquarius house. So that would still be a good match. We need to check everything. Then also we need to check synastry, because in synastry we lay your horoscope, your birth chart on top of the other person's birth chart, and then we see how your planets interact, if they have positive connections or negative connections. And even though you may be sun signs that would not be the perfect match, you may have amazing connections in synastry that would highlight a very long-lasting relationship and love. So please, again, never say no to someone just because you think the sun sign doesn't match. There's way more important stuff, and also in relationships the moon sign would be more important anyway than the sun sign. But again, this would mean a soulmate can be any sign. However, something you do often find in soulmates, and I already mentioned it, is that one person's sun, moon, rising sign would be found in the other person's sun, moon, rising sign. So if you're an aqua sun, there is a chance that they would be an aqua rising or aqua moon, or maybe your rising sign, they have that as their sun or moon sign, or vice versa. Maybe let's talk about Pisces again. They are Pisces and you have Pisces in your sun, moon, rising, or you have whatever their moon sign is in your sun, moon, rising. So that is something you find very often in any kind of connection, like soulmates, but even twin flames and so on. Even if you don't have that, again, don't fret, because you may have other amazing stuff in your synastry, and then you can still make it work. So when we talk about another soul connection, the soul twins, a soul twin would be someone who has a lot of the same energy as you do. They will have the same sun sign, but also the same moon sign, and a lot of other same signs. But again, we're just talking about the archetype right now. So a good match for you Aquarius could be another Aquarius. That doesn't mean automatically that you're mirror souls, because again, you would have to have different aspects that are the same. But again, another good thing for you would be another Aquarius. However, That kind of depends on how evolved you are in your soul journey. Do you have shadows? Have you already cleared them, or you never had a lot of shadows? Because when you still have a lot of shadows, you can only attract somebody who also has a lot of shadows, and they can trigger each other like crazy, because another Aquarius would have the same shadows than you have. And that could cause stagnation. That of course could get somewhat toxic, so that could not be a good match. However, if you are more evolved, and then you attract of course another Aquarius who is evolved as well, another mirror soul, and that could be a very good thing, because you would get each other, you would understand each other, and they could be your divine counterparts to absolutely grow old with. However, these connections, usually there's not a lot of spiritual awakening going on within the connection. Maybe you didn't choose to do that. Not every soul decides to do the twin flame journey and all of that. It's some souls chose to do that, or you chose to have a spiritual awakening but not being triggered by in a romantic relationships. Maybe you've got it triggered by something else, because you, I don't know, went through a depression or some physical disease, or it's like a work thing or a family thing. So it doesn't have to be a romantic connection, of course. Again, you would not attract another person with the same energies as you for the ascension. Maybe like for the triggering, for the shadow work, yeah, but not as much for the ascension. But again, that's not necessary. Not every soul choose to do so. And again, please keep in mind, we're talking about archetypes. You may have some other stuff in your charts, and that's why you have to look at the whole thing. That can still indicate like a romantic ascension journey. That's absolutely possible. But in a soul twin connection, again, you would have more in common than just the same sun sign. You would have the other personal planets in the same sign as well. But again, it's a good match, because you just automatically really get the other energy, and that can of course be something to grow old with till the end of your days. Another good match for you guys Aquarius would be the other air signs, and for you that would be Libra or Gemini. And I do have this little drawing here. You see air would be here, the yellow one, and it's a masculine sign, that's why it's pointing upwards. The feminine sign are pointing downwards, like the female crotch, and here we do have the phallic symbol, and the lines going through indicate that it's a more rational element. So earth and air are the more rational elements, and here we do have the more emotional elements that are more ruled by the right side of the brain, and here we got the left side of the brain. Anyway, another air sign, Gemini or Libra, would be a good match, because you already share this air energy. You share the masculine energy, and you share the same air element. However, Gemini and Libra are ruled by different planets. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Libra is ruled by Venus, and you guys are ruled by Saturn, and you have two rulers, Saturn and Uranus. So they bring other elements to the table, which can indicate, yeah, there's a lot of sameness. However, there is room for expansion, because you get some outside energies, or some outside how would I say, something that is, I don't mean to trigger in a bad way, but something that is starting a development. However, air signs are 120 degrees apart in astrology, and that's a very good thing. It is the most harmonious aspect. It means that your signs are trining, and a trine is the flowing aspect. It is connected to harmony, you could say. So you can have a very, very harmonious connection with a Libra and a Gemini. But again, we have to check out the entire chart, because you may have some things in your personal chart that would contradict that. We're talking about the general energies, and since you are a lot alike, it is a soul connection if you have a lot of trines, again, we're not just talking about one sign. If you do have a lot of trines in your chart, maybe you have even trining moon signs, then that is a connection we couldn't call a soul twin. Not a twin soul, a soul twin. It's a different kind of connection. And I like to use the metaphor of twins, biological twins, but not identical twins. Two fertilized eggs, they were born together and they grew up together, they shared the same experiences, which means they are a lot alike. However, they still are different from their sibling. And again, it's a very beautiful, very, very, very harmonious connections. Those are usually the soulmates that meet each other. They find out, yeah, we're a good match, and then they grow old together. There is some growth, of course, happening, because again, we do have other aspects. We have different planets interacting with you. That would mean that, of course, there is some kind of growth, but in a very harmonious way. So these connections, again, are usually not there for this huge spiritual development and shadow work. They're more, you could say, I don't believe in past lives anymore, because I believe there is no time, there is no past, so there can't be past lives. But if you want to hold on to the aspect of past life, then you could say finding your soul twin is like a reward, like good job. You don't have to do all of the shadow work. You get to enjoy a beautiful connection in this life. However, it is kind of like a template you chose. You know, you didn't choose to go through all of the drama, or maybe you already did, and then as a reward you would attract somebody that has a lot of trines, forms a lot of trines with you, and that could be a soul twin. Again, a soul twin will have a very similar energy, yet a bit different, but it's a beautiful, beautiful connection. Let's talk about split twin energy, and for you guys, Aquarius, let me think, would be Leo. Again, we do have the two masculine signs here. We got air, we got fire. And if you're wondering why split twins, isn't one the feminine, one the masculine? Yes, absolutely. In this case, we need to say, however, they do share an oversoul. You know, there was one soul that then split. And split twins, again, they're not half souls. I like to use the metaphor of biological twins. It was one fertilized egg that then the mass of cells split into two embryos, and they're two individual people who still have a special bond. And split twin flames, again, they're own individuals. They're not half souls. However, they do share the oversoul, and the oversoul already is either more feminine or more masculine. In your case, more masculine. However, every soul has both aspects in them, the feminine and the masculine. And then when it's split, one part got the more feminine energy, still a bit of the masculine, of course, and the other part got the more masculine energy, a bit feminine. So you do have feminine and masculine energy going on, even though the oversoul is more masculine due to the split before that. I do explain that more in my video about divine counterpart connections, the 2.5 hour video. You can check that out, where I explain the soul splitting and all of that. And yeah, your counterpart would be Leo. Why Leo? It is because you are governing the 11th house, and Leo is the 5th house, which would be your opposition, your opposing sign. And your opposing sign either can be amazing or not good at all, because you are polar opposite. Imagine again the soul split, and they got the different attributes, the polar attributes. And if you don't have anything in common, no other signs in common, then that would be not a good match, because you wouldn't get each other at all. I did record a video about same opposing and complementary energy, where I was talking about my experience. I am a Virgo. My opposing energy would be Pisces, and I was explaining how I don't get Pisces energy at all, because I don't have anything Pisces in my chart, and that guy didn't have anything Virgo in his chart. So that just, we did not get each other at all. It could be like coming from different planets basically. So in a split twin connection, you will have the opposition, but you will have a lot of sameness, and that could be in your case a Leo and an Aquarius. However, maybe they have the moon in the same sign, or they have their sun signs in the opposing signs but in the same house. Or my split twin and I, we had the sun in the same sign, Virgo, but in opposite houses, me in the 5th house, him in the 11th house. So again, there is some kind of opposing energy going on, but yet there must be sameness. And again, we're not just talking about one sign, the moon sign, you know, you will have the same and the opposites throughout several things going on, and not just this one sign. So again, your opposite Leo could be a very good match if you do have some common ground, and then in fact it could be your perfect match. Let's talk about split twin flames again. There were one oversoul, then split, so of course that is the perfect match. It's not the only good match out there, okay, but it is the perfect match because again, they do share the oversoul. They were one once, so it's a very good match. However, it is opposite energy, and that is like a blessing in disguise. It's like a good and a bad thing at the same time. When we were talking about soul twins, I was talking about the trining energy, about how it is a very easy and flowing energy, and at the same time this means that there's not this great spiritual awakening going on. With the split twins, however, that is the main purpose of this journey. It is union after that as well as the reward after the shadow work is done, but it is opposing energy, and that in itself is creating havoc. It is forcing you to do your shadow work because the other person would act completely different, and you have the runner and chaser dynamic going on here. And once you have healed that, once you have learned to balance your own energy, you get to balance the other person's energy as well, because again, there is this connection, and then you can make it work after you healed. So the opposition, which is a hard aspect, not a very positive aspect in general, can become a positive thing once the healing is done. Absolutely. And the opposing signs always kind of like influence one another because they are opposing. They're like magnets, and you can learn to balance it out, but again, only by doing the shadow work, by completing this journey. So there is a great gift in this aspect because it is the one of spiritual enlightening, if you choose that to do that with a split twin flame journey, because again, there is other templates, and not everybody chooses to get spiritual enlightening by going through these twin flame templates. That is just one possibility. Another perfect aspect for you guys would be you see, air and earth belonging together, because they're both the more mental signs. They share the line, they are counterparts. It's the masculine and the feminine energy, whereas with what was I saying, Leo, it's both the masculine energies. Here we got the masculine and the feminine. That would be monadic twin flames, of course. And so your perfect counterpart would be Capricorn. And why Capricorn? Because you guys are ruled by not just Uranus, but also by Saturn, and you're representing the male aspect. I mean, you can see here the air signs are the masculine signs, so you are representing the yang aspect of Saturn, and Capricorn is representing the yin, the feminine aspect of Saturn. So you automatically share the Saturnian energy. And we were talking about split twin flames, how they need a third energy. You know, they need something in common to balance the energy, and you already have that naturally, because you already naturally have the connection through the Saturn energy, and yet you have the yin yang, the masculine feminine energy, balancing itself out. A monadic twin flame, again, just because you are Capricorn and Aquarius does not automatically mean you're a monadic twin flame. However, it does mean that you would be a good match if you have other stuff in your birth chart that would indicate that as well. We need other stuff that show that, and also you do have more than one aspect. Monadic twin flames would have the yin yang energy also in the moon sign, especially in the moon sign, and many other signs, like almost all of the planets will be connected in some way. But even if you would, and also monadic twin flames, of course, they only meet after, if there is a monadic twin flame, they are very rare, they would only meet after they have done the shadow work. They would not meet to trigger each other when it comes to starting the spiritual journey. They already have been awakened and they come each other to trigger each other for the ascension journey. However, a split twin, after they have done the awakening stuff, they can do that as well, and of course get higher if they choose to do so. So again, just meeting a Capricorn does not automatically mean that they are your divine counterpart, that they are your monadic twin flame. However, it would be a good match if you have other stuff in your charts that would indicate that as well, because you do share the same planetary energy, in your case Saturn. So let's sum it up, Aquarius people. For you guys, any sign, any sign can be a soulmate. Any sign can be a divine counterpart, because soulmates can be divine counterparts to grow old together for the rest of your life. We need to check the entire chart. A soul twin would have a lot in common with you, so they might be another Aquarius. So an Aquarius would be a good match for you. However, it's not a match for the biggest spiritual growth, because likeness doesn't grow so much. You need something else that pushes that a little. Then another air sign would be amazing for you. That would be Libra and Gemini. There is the possibility for growth, however, not in a grandiose way, but in a more playful, easygoing, flowing way you have the trining energy, which is amazing. Then your opposite would be Leo. Leo could indicate, again, Leo doesn't automatically indicate a split twin, but it is your opposite, and you have, if you have something in common, you can absolutely make it work, because you have what the other person doesn't have, and vice versa. So you can bring something else to the table to create an even bigger energy than you could by yourself. And then of course another perfect match for you would be Capricorn, because you get each other, you have the same planetary energy, and you are very complementary, because you already have the yin yang and you have that automatically. So if that helped, please like, subscribe, share my videos, hit the bell icons, check out my other stuff, check out that long video about divine counterpart connections where I go into all different angles. And of course you can check my celebrity couple of videos where I analyze everything I talk about right now, and I am available for your own personal coaching and your own astrology chart analysis. And yeah, I wish you all the best. I hope I see you in my other videos or in a personal coaching, and I wish you all the best. Bye bye.